Welcome to the Light, Camera, Rant Podcast. Your source for the latest on movies, TV shows, and video games. Get ready for ranting, raving, and reviewing. Here is your host, Lee.
Hi everyone, welcome back for another edition of Lights, Camera, Rant. And for this particular episode, I have my wonderful returning guest, Mark, from Mark My Words. Welcome back.
It's good to be back.
It's been about 12 episodes, actually, since you were last on here, which was December last year.
It feels like yesterday. Every time you mention, oh man, it's been so long since you've been on, you should definitely jump on. I'm like, that was like last week's. I listened to you every single week, but still I'm just like, nah, surely that was not that long ago. But thank you, I appreciate it.
I know, it's scary because like we do these episodes and then it's like, alright, we can't wait to do another one, and then a little bit longer, how many videos you've done and like how many more episodes I've done. But before we get into this episode, so what we're going to do is Mark's going to give us a brief history of what he's been up to. He's been up to so much, so I can't wait for him to get into that. And then we're going to dive into the news like always, and then we're going to start crunching down the biggest wins in video games so far, 2022, and what's yet to come. But first things first, let's get started, boy.
Nice. Alright, so little recap of what I've been up to. So obviously, Mark My Words over here is very much gaming specific. So we are on Instagram, YouTube. YouTube's the one I'm trying to grow the most. Facebook, all those kinds of jazz. But yeah, so I haven't been on since I did a Battlefield 2042 review, which is probably one of the biggest flops of this year. I have heard they've done a lot of changes, but from what I've read in the comments, the damage is already done.
Yeah.
People are not going back. Simple as that.
Well, that's the thing is like you can do so much of a grind to try and rebuild it, but if you've lost people at the start, what are you going to do to try and entice people to come back?
From what I'm aware, like No Man's Sky is the only game that's gone from the absolute dirt and gone up.
That's true. Like that game, they've done, like, if anything, his promise did come eventually.
It did.
He probably should have said, instead of all this happening on day one, you'll get it at 3 years later.
Yeah, it was like 2 years, 3 years easily.
Yeah.
But the dedication is insane that they did with that game. I still yet to play that, actually. I've not played No Man's Sky yet.
I've played it for a little bit. I did. There is just so much. It's almost endless. You can jump to world. You can get on a spaceship. You can keep going. You can walk around the entire planet. You can get starships.
Yeah, now co-op's available and like actual like monsters are there and everything. It's insane what they've done.
I know.
I wanted to quickly mention that the one flop I can definitely see is Anthem. That lasted like 4 weeks, which was suck because I played it and it was so much fun. But then like I was one of the ones that got the game glitches that just shut the game down. I could not get past this main quest, and I'd have to restart the entire game to do it. But the flying in it, the way the game looked, fantastic. But
Actually, the raw stuff.
The damage was done.
Yeah.
Damage was done.
Well, that's the thing. Like, look at Cyberpunk. Now. Funny enough, I actually only bought Cyberpunk because you and Dean were talking about it, and I watched one trailer. I was like, all right, this looks like Blade Runner mixed with Grand Theft Auto. So I'm like, sold. I don't give a shit. And yeah, I think that first like 2 weeks that we were playing it, that was a fucking mess.
Yeah, that's one of those games where I'm still waiting for it because they've announced DLC that there's coming out. Because I thought they just dropped the game, and I was like, no, that's it. We're not doing anything else about it. But no, there is DLC coming, and apparently they've fixed a lot of the patches. So I reckon look out for a potential Cyberpunk review later on with DLC. Because when the DLC comes on, I reckon I'm going to jump back onto it. Because I was definitely one of the people that gave up with how bad it was. I was like, nah. You lost me. Yeah. But yeah, I reckon I might jump back on that when the DLC comes on. We'll see what it's like.
Definitely, I will. They've fixed a lot. Like, I was one of those rare people that actually I did mission through it. I didn't return it. But compared to when I first started playing it to when I actually finished the game, there was so much fixed on it.
Yeah.
And like there was a mission, I think was like one particular mission that's towards the end that's meant to get you to like the last mission, and this guy's meant to call you to initiate the mission. He would call you.
I did notice that. Like, you'd take a solid while of free roaming before they would call you, which is like, that's how the next mission would start. Is they would call you and be like, hey, you ready to do this? But you needed 15, 20 minutes of like free roaming where you, as someone that kind of like follows main mission almost specifically, it's like, what's going on?
You're not going to call me?
Yeah.
It's obviously like real life, isn't it? I'm not going to call you straight away. Like, you know that thing we just spoke about 2 seconds ago? Are you ready? But the thing that I remember, the biggest thing I had to go know about Cyberpunk before we keep going, was that I felt like to get to free roam, the opening was so long.
Opening was long, but the thing I will give it is, even if it was a little bit broken, it looked pretty. It was very pretty.
Yeah.
But it was just a bit broken.
Just a little bit.
But yeah, just quickly a rundown of like the recent videos I've posted. So Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Thank God you pronounced that.
Horizon Forbidden West, The Pathless, and then I've had a lot of videos on Returnal Ascension, which you'll look forward to the upcoming video of. Returnal Ascension 1 year after, so it's been a year since Returnal has been out, so Ascension was the DLC, so full review on the game, the Ascension DLC, and the Tower Mode, which I'm not even going to try to pronounce, but it's part of the DLC. And then the most recent ones, which has been Kirby and the Forgotten Land and Lego's Star Wars, which was it a flop or was it almost Game of the Year? Well, we have to watch the video to find out.
Hey. Well, a lot of people thought it was going to be the Game of the Year. But Elden Ring kind of just like right hooked down, like, nope.
I have a very solid, like, Elden Ring is not going to be beaten at all. Like, I admittedly gave up on it. I was a big From Software fan, but I'm not a big Dark Souls fan. I'm a fan of Bloodborne and Sirico, which is more of their off games, but it just, I didn't have the mental capacity to play it just now. It's
such a grind. Like, everyone you see talking about how long it's taking to get through it, you know, and the fact that it, not saying it didn't come out of anywhere, but the sheer amount of positive reviews that came from it kind of like blew everyone out of the water. Like, IGN gave it 10. Slap straight 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's it. The thing that's been beautiful about this game is, well, one, it's broken the Game of the Year because it's one of the first games in the past 3 years that's done. It's completed.
Yeah,
there's no expecting DLC. It's not broken. It's done.
Yeah, that's it.
And
take the full game. We're going to get.
And another thing, it's enticed people that don't play From Software games to give it a go. And that's, I think, what's, like, once again, the most beautiful thing about gaming. People are giving it a crack. It's fucking hard. But when you beat a boss that's been beating you senseless for the past 2 days, there's no other feeling. There is no other feeling when you beat that. So,
I 100% agree. Also, we're talking about all your videos. You did the co-op video with Perry. So Perry has appeared on this podcast before. He's episode, I think 8 or 9. That's right. I need to get Perry back on here to do it again.
you do.
But how was your videos with Perry? I loved them. I loved it. I think actually part 1 or part 2. They're both walking in. They've gone into this like treasure room, and at the same time, both you and Perry are like, ooh, like perfect sync.
It was so good recording Perry. Perry and I we actually often play games single player. So we played Final Fantasy VII Remake and Final Fantasy 15 together, where we're in party talking absolute crap, and then we played our own single player adventures, and that made the game we were playing so much more fun. So playing Returnal with Perry was definitely something I want to do because he gets into the nitty gritty. He knows what each what's the right word? Each item, everything it does to like its
the details.
Yeah, into its details.
Yeah.
So he was definitely someone I wanted because Returnal doesn't tell you much at all. You just got to kind of figure it out. But yeah, that is a full co-op gameplay from stage 2. So there's 3 stages in Returnal. So it's stage 2 all the way to the final boss. So that was... I should have mentioned that I didn't plan to make that a video. I just had that much fun. I was like, I'm going to make a video.
Yeah. Why not? No, I really enjoy that with you guys watching it. So definitely, guys, if you want to, definitely jump onto Mark My Words' channel. The man is pumping out videos left, right, and center. You know, I hope to chase your YouTube channel one day with my lovely, I think, 11 subscribers I have on my YouTube, which I will be greatly disappointed because there's only 2 since January.
YouTube is one of the hardest platforms I've seen to grow. Like, everything has an algorithm in which you can then grow on. TikTok, Instagram, they show you things that they know you're interested in. YouTube, I don't know about you, but I have 4 people that I watch and I don't stray from it. And like, it's very rare I'll come across anyone new. So I appreciate any view, any subscriber, any follower. I as we've spoken about in our previous video, we want that. We want that
interaction,
100%.
Definitely, either on TikTok, YouTube, anything that we create. You know, definitely comment and tell us. You know, tell us if you really enjoy it, your opinion if you liked it or not, or you know, if we're doing a shit job.
Yeah, say, hey, this is crap. I can't really hear you. All right, I have to up the audio or get a better mic.
Yeah,
just let us know.
You can't play the game, so why did you play?
Yeah, wow, you're that bad. It's like, yeah, but it was funny, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, right? It's crying inside.
Yeah, I thought I did well.
Tear. And so, what have you got upcoming?
So upcoming, I reckon the 2 next videos that will be coming out is the 1 year later of Returnal Ascension. So everything DLC, full game. A small brief into that is I did not like Returnal when it came out. So 2021, didn't like it at all. I couldn't stand it. But then co-op and that DLC, it's a different game, different breed. So definitely check out that video where I go into really focusing on why I think Returnal is fantastic co-op experience, even with your partner, friends, anything. After that, Nintendo Switch Sports will be coming out in April 29th.
That's right, the highly anticipated sequel.
Yes.
Very highly anticipated.
So I'll be jumping on that, and then I will potentially be making a video of Elden Ring and why I might think Bloodborne is better than Elden Ring. So yeah, stay tuned for all those.
That will be an interesting one because one's, you know, potentially game of the year in the greatest game of this entire year, which I think which we'll get into later in this episode, but I think the only thing that's really going to knock off its pedestal is God of War.
Yeah, that's the only thing like. We have a couple of games we will get into where it very much might, but I think with the absolute uproar that Elden Ring has brought the second it came on the market, it's going to be really hard to beat that. Really, really hard.
The thing is, what God of War has, the fact is, like, this is a sequel to potentially one of the greatest reboots ever done of a game. And the game of the year. And if it didn't come out the same year, Red Dead Redemption would have got it.
Fun fact, I only just had to Google this, but Bloodborne was game of the year in 2015.
Oh, it was?
When it did come out. So 2015, Bloodborne was game of the year.
Well, there you go. Alright, so you're going to have your video is going to be Game of the Year versus Game of the Year.
That's it.
There's your title. Done. Write itself.
Oh, right. That's good stuff.
Sold. Alright, so let's get into the news. So, I was so annoyed about this. We were talking about this before. So, obviously, this episode will come out every Tuesday. So, what happens the very next day, the last week? We get the Thor 4 trailer, which we've been dying to see, which broke the record of the shortest amount of time between when the first trailer came out to the release. Before, do you actually want a little trivia fact? Can you name me the Marvel movie that has the longest time frame between the trailer coming out to when the movie came out?
I would have to say Infinity War, surely.
No.
Like, that's like the first guess. But otherwise, the first Avengers?
That is indeed correct.
Hey.
Because the trailer was after Captain America.
Wow, that
First Avenger.
Yeah,
so that was nearly full 12 months.
I'm glad they don't do that anymore. Games used to do that. I think they've realised there's nothing good about adding a trailer and giving a year-long hype train. Like, now it's gone down to 3-6 months, and I've liked that. Yeah. It's been good.
I agree. At the time, it made a whole lot of sense because the fact it was Captain America, the first Avenger, and it was going to be leading into the first big team-up movie, which, you know, today movie studios are still trying to capture that lightning in the bottle.
Was Captain America after Thor?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I was wondering if Loki was established then, because he had to have been, because he's the main villain of... Yeah.
Yeah, he did, because you saw Samuel L. Jackson at the end of Thor, and you saw Samuel L. Jackson at the end of the first Avenger.
Yeah, and at the end of Iron Man as well, wasn't he?
Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
But he had already had Iron Man 2 before.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that is the longest holds the record. But sorry, I'll put my thoughts first. I love the song. I love Taika Waititi and what he's doing. The man is a genius. I really do hope the fact he does get his opportunity to make his own Star Wars film, because I think that would be fucking mad.
Yeah.
I like how he's doing all that. I do like the fact that he's still Fat Thor at the very start, and then you see him become fully thick Thor, ripped at anything. I do like seeing the Guardians again. It feels like it's been so long since we've seen the Guardians.
The Guardians are broken at the moment. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens with them.
Well, that's right, because the third one's going to be the last Guardians of the Galaxy film, which James Gunn has mentioned the fact it is the last time you will see this lineup of the Guardians of the Galaxy. So we could potentially get Guardians of the Galaxy 4, but...
There has been a few renditions of Guardians of the Galaxy in the comics.
Oh, yeah. Well, we have the As Guardians of the Galaxy right now.
Yeah, well, of course, yeah.
But it was good seeing the Guardians in the trailer. You know, I do like seeing these different worlds. I do like the fact he's training, and he's doing a whole soul searching because of like who he's meant to be. Because right now in the MCU there is no Avengers. He's already given up his throne, so he doesn't have to look after his people. His brother's dead, his mother's dead, his father's dead, his sister that he didn't know about is dead, half his people are dead.
What else
quarter of his friends are dead or retired. So he can really do whatever he wants right now. Because that's the thing, is like technically Thor will see like the MCU change nearly, in theory, change for a very long time before he actually dies. So technically, every person he meets is like a dog. You only see them for about 15 years, and which is really sad.
God damn, that the realization of that's like when they talk about Thor's depression and how deep it actually was during Infinity War and Endgame. You go, oh my god, that's not okay.
I know. The one that gets me, I think the one that gets me is there's a comic strip that's come out. And it's Loki coming through the TVA window, and there's Thor crying on the same hill where he saw his father die, and then he comes up to him and it's like he puts his hand on his shoulder and saying, I told you the sun will shine on us once again, brother. And then Thor turns around and hugs him, and I'm like, oh.
See, I feel like I saw a similar one where he rocks up from the TVA and he's like, I can explain.
Yeah, I've seen that one too, yeah. It's like, I can explain. And he's like, I'm going to fucking kill you myself.
I know the amount of times this has happened, but I swear.
I know. And the thing is, going off subject, you saw that when Loki watched his death.
Yeah.
How much pain he caused, and how much he can never see Thor again. Because it will make no fucking sense. But yeah, I like the entire trailer. I was surprised that they did show Jane in it, because I was half expecting her to be in the second trailer to see it. So it's good seeing her. And I did like the fact they didn't show us Christian Bale.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this movie is a lot about obviously Thor soul searching, and then the next trailer you can do the entire flip where there is no Guns N' Roses, there are no happy moments. Like Christian Bale is literally playing a guy who's called the God Butcher. So we saw Zeus, who's getting played by Russell Crowe.
Yeah,
and which means people are gonna die.
It's gonna be interesting because my main thought of it was I didn't get a lot from the trailer at all. I didn't get a lot of real solid substance. It was nice seeing Jane. I reckon that's gonna be really weird, but it's gonna be good. I like if you compare this to what we saw in the last Thor film, Ragnarok, where he was very he was a bit high and mighty, a bit once he found his power and stuff like that, and then compare this to now where he's just training in the soul search. It was very weird, not Marvel, but it was Marvel. It was very weird, and until I see Christian Bale as the main villain, I think is this one of the first trailers we haven't seen at least a glimpse or something of a villain?
Oh,
that?
Yeah.
We didn't get anything. If anything, the whole trailer didn't really show a a conflict of sorts. Apart
No,
from Jane getting the hammer, like it looked like she was about to fight.
Yeah.
It wasn't. It was a little bit more wholesome in that, and I reckon the Guardians will go pretty early in because I think I saw a theory that they're going to ditch Thor.
Well, you can kind of tell by the trailer.
Yeah.
Which, funny enough, I actually mentioned that because, see, one of the best things I love about James Gunn is the fact that he interacts and tweets back people who ask him questions on Instagram or anything like that, and he'll be straight up honest. And someone actually tweeted him saying, with Guardians of the Galaxy being in Thor 4, was there any script changes or was there any notes that you gave Taika Waititi about the Guardians, obviously leading into Guardians of the Galaxy 3? And James Gunn tweeted back saying, yes, there was a couple of dialogue changes and they were adjusted.
Nice.
So
I think it would be a simple theory I can say is they're going to want to go find Gamora, but Thor doesn't want to do that.
No.
I think that'd be like a simple, because like I think the part in the trailer, I really need to watch the trailer again. I should have watched it before this, but the part where wow, I'm terrible. main character of Guardians, fucking
Star-Lord, Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt was talking about family, and he and looks over and like Thor's just like going in there. That's like a really easy way of going. Oh, as soon as you find what family is, like talking about Gamora and all that, like that. I reckon that would be a very easy way of getting rid of him.
Yeah, I love that scene because there's been so many memes come from that, and my favourite's been like the Guardians in the background of being all the cool stuff I want to buy, and it's like Chris Pratt with being your bank account, Thor being your bank account. You're like,
maybe not.
But you're right, actually. I think it could be the first one we haven't actually seen the villain. But so that's coming out in June. And then obviously we do get Black Panther.
Way sooner than it feels like. Yeah, with the small amount of space, I'm still hyped about Doctor Strange in 2 weeks, which we're going to go see. But
I am so fucking jacked for it. The thing is, like as I was saying to you, which we've had, I talked to Mark and Dean on the daily about this shit, and I'm sure one day they're going to tell me to shut the fuck up.
Nah, I encourage you.
The thing is, the fact the movie is not getting premiered until the actual premiere, so no one's seeing the movie earlier, and people have obviously talked about the reshoots. At this point, if I hear Marvel reshoots, it doesn't make me nervous.
Nah.
Obviously they're reshuffling everything because of COVID, which makes perfect sense. Yeah. It's not like Justice League, when you heard reshoots and it was absolutely murder dog shit.
Let's be honest, Marvel's treated COVID really well.
They have.
They've just made this time, made the space, and put everything back in order. Simple.
That's what everything's in order now.
Yeah.
Nothing's been pushed back anymore, unlike the DC. Here, 2022, the year of heroes, all get pushed back.
We meant 2023.
Yeah. No one told
We
me.
hired the same guy that did the Spanish Spider-Man show.
I know. Oh, the biggest idiot. But Doctor Strange 2, like we've got our tickets, we're ready to go. That's coming out in 2 weeks, which we just realised also last night when we were chatting the fact that we get the last episode of Moon Knight and the very next day, Doctor Strange.
See, I feel like I've asked you this before, but do you need to watch Moon Knight to watch Doctor Strange?
Yes, you have, and I did reply.
I wasn't sure. I forgot your answer. For the people at home.
As far as I know, yes. As in, yes, you do, but it isn't like as quintessential as WandaVision.
Okay, yeah.
So like it adds to it, but it's not like you need to. Like I think it's like you need to watch WandaVision, Loki, Moon Knight.
So is he going to be in it? Has that been confirmed at all?
No.
Okay.
No, the last thing I read was the fact that Oscar Isaac is only contracted for Moon Knight, season 1.
He'll stick around.
He has to. He's doing such a good job.
He really is.
He's doing a really good job, which we'll get into that. But yeah, so if it was Loki, because there's obviously a rumor that Loki will appear, the TVA and everything, because of what Doctor Strange is about to do. Not to mention, after the end of Loki, every multiverse is just, every timeline's actually cracked right now. Yeah, and you have this nice, wholesome Hawkeye. It's like, oh, I saved the day. You have no idea what's going on.
Maybe we'll save your Doctor Strange speech for your next episode. 'Cause
Oh.
I don't want to take away all your Doctor Strange stuff.
No. Well, the reason he's saying that is because next week, the guys from the Nerd Dose podcast from America were joining me again, and we'll be doing a Doctor Strange expectations and theories episode to get you guys amped up and ready before the premiere, so you go in knowing every little thing just to make sure that you are aware. But yeah, Doctor Strange 2, as far as I know, I don't think it has any connection to Thor. That's how we go into this lovely tangent.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
As far as I know, because I did have someone actually message me saying, is Jane Foster a variant? I was
That
like,
makes sense.
I'm like, she's not a variant. That's still the same Jane. Because the reason why we know that from obviously a synopsis, but as well as the hammer is the same hammer that got cracked and smashed.
Yeah, because you could see that in the trailer. You could see the battle damage.
Yeah, that was reassembled. My biggest thing going to Thor 4 is everything going on, and like I've got to still watch everything, but my biggest curiosity thing is Jane. How, because they're going to do, in the comics, she has cancer. So when they did the, Jane Foster becoming Thor, she had cancer and she was dying. But then when she becomes Thor,
well, yeah,
obviously, which if you do go back, there's some terrific artwork of her wearing the helmet and holding the hammer, and it's just fantastic how she's been drawn. It just works perfectly. It's surprising that it hasn't been done earlier. But much more curious thing is they are doing the cancer from that. They are doing the timeline in the movie. But my thing is like, how does she become worthy? How does she pick up the hammer? How does the hammer get reforged? Because from the look of Thor, he's like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Yeah, and also like he gave up Stormbreaker at a point as well, because he put that down and then just went and did his own thing. So
I know.
like, he should have no need for the hammer, so why is it there?
Exactly right. You know what actually I got from that? Big end Infinity War and Thanos vibes.
Yeah, I've seen that. 100% seen that.
Yeah. So between Doctor Strange, Thor 4 and Wakanda Forever, where would you rank your excitement for?
Unfortunately, with the passing in regards to Black Panther,
Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, I kind of leaving that alone. I don't know how they're going to do it, and I'm sure they're going to do great, but that's alone. But still, Doctor Strange is going to... The only thing that worries me is the runtime, which I've already spoken to you about, but beyond that, I'm sure it's going to fucking be awesome.
It's going to be fucking... It better be, but then in Marvel we trust.
Yeah, that's it.
But my thing is, like, what's it going to lead to at the end? Like, is it going to lead to Doctor Strange 3? Is it going to lead to Kang?
I think it should lead to Kang, but yeah, we'll see.
Will actually the Kang actor be in it?
Yeah, well, true.
Because the only other confirmed appearance he's making is Ant-Man 3. We assume he's going to appear in Loki Season 2, which has been confirmed, but there is no confirmed date of Loki Season 2.
Yeah.
Which I'm guessing will go in production after Doctor Strange.
I still think Kang's going to be more of an Ultron level threat than a Thanos level, but we'll see.
The thing I get is like, the reason why Thanos will always be the biggest and baddest, and even if another bad comes on, the reason why he will always be top tier to me is the fact that obviously the Infinity Stone saga will always be a staple in the MCU of how good it was, but the fact that he wasn't being a villain because he wanted to take over the world, he wanted to kill thousands of people, he wanted to be king, he wanted to be a god, was the fact that people were dying. So that's why he was that's why he was going to planets that were overpopulating, overusing their resources, and that's why he halved them. Yes, mass genocide to get the mission done, but at the same time, if you look at it on paper, you're like...
Thanos was right.
Yeah, which is on a mug, and I want to get that on a mug. I don't want to take that to work.
Just been sitting there going, someone's got to get this, surely.
He's like, what, you approve genocide? What?
It's like, shut up.
Hey,
it's not the point.
It's not the point. They didn't die.
You'd get snapped.
You look like a guy that gets snapped. I just feel... I just feel those people that got snapped on the airplane.
Yeah. Never spoke about that, did they? Yeah.
No, I didn't. So let's keep moving forward. So in other news, we also got the first poster of Fast 10, which looks like an X-Men logo.
Yeah,
no joke.
They need to stop.
Apparently it's the last one, which is bullshit. Well, no, it's not bullshit, but I hope it should be up to 10.
Yeah, no, it shouldn't be. I mean, even The Rock's turning around and going, that's enough.
Yeah, he doesn't want to come back. Have you seen it? Like, what's his name? What's the bald guy's name?
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel, yeah. Or here in Australia, Vin Petrol.
Yeah.
He's even gone Instagram trying to get The Rock to come back, and The Rock's like, no, I don't want to come back.
No, and that's good. Like, an actor needs to realise I'm not going to be bringing anything worthwhile to this.
No, and the cast is already massive. They got Jason Momoa and
that's what they do.
And
how they pour that poor Aquaman into it? He's had enough.
Oh no. Oh, actually, he's going to have enough because apparently he's meant to be starring in a Minecraft movie.
Yeah, that's. I don't know.
And Jason Momoa and Captain Marvel. She's going to be in it.
Yeah, that's right.
I was like, cool, Brie Larson.
She can pull off a bit of a badass though. It's like when that UFC fighter was in Fast 6 or 7 on the Dubai Towers. Dean's screaming at the mic right now, going, "Yes, stupid!"
Yeah, I know. I can hear it. I hear it.
Yeah,
Ronda Rousey.
That's it, Ronda Rousey. Like
Yeah.
she did surprisingly well.
Yeah.
Granted, all she was sex appeal and fighting, but still, that's what she is. So
Do you remember the fact that Gal Gadot was in there?
Yeah. Oh yeah, she was.
Mm.
She's a great actor though.
I know. She's fantastic. Actress, yes.
Excuse me.
And Wonder Woman 1 is great. Can't wait for number 3.
Yeah.
Let's never talk about number 2.
Number 2.0.
Yeah, number 2 was shit.
Yeah.
And this one, I don't know why. This one I don't get. Isla Miller, The Flash, and Harry Potter Fantastic Beast. He got another altercation with someone in Hawaii before his trial for punching the other person. I'm like, calm down, mate. They're only Hawaiian people.
Why is he so angry?
I don't know.
You know what? DCU, actually.
Yeah.
This makes a lot of sense, actually.
Exactly right. Well, not to mention, maybe he's pissed because his movie got delayed. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to take it out on these Hawaiians. You all look like the...
He just looks so happy. What's wrong with him?
Yeah, why are you all happy? My movie got delayed. I don't even know who my Superman is.
Anyway, that's not talking
Let's try and not. Also, another thing that was probably the biggest news in the past week is that obviously the biggest Netflix has taken a massive hit. Like, which we were looking at before, their shares, so it was 600...
so a year ago, they're at $600 a share. That's crazy. But then the drop, which I think we saw before, was 215.
Yeah.
I think it was like 34%. They haven't been this low since 2004.
I've been loving all the memes from Blockbuster and Video Easy Me, like, how does it feel?
I've not seen those.
Oh,
that's awesome. No, because my biggest thing was like, I think they dropped because they announced their like earnings, and their earnings were lower than usual. So therefore, all the share marketers were like, "Oh shit, jump ship." But then they also released that password sharing thing, which is like, oh, people can't share their passwords anymore. It has to be like one household, and it's like,
it's because they're losing so much money.
yeah.
So the thing is, like, the problem is, like, at one time or another, Netflix was the absolute premiere. That's where you went to. It was a Netflix and Foxtel.
Yeah.
But now, the market is absolutely saturated with streaming services.
But I don't think anything still compares to Netflix. I think recently I've noticed Netflix doesn't have as much coming out on a regular basis. But, like, I personally have Netflix, Disney Plus, and Apple TV, because Apple TV was free. Only reason I have it.
Oh, that's
it's
right,
got
yeah.
nothing on it.
Yeah.
Apart from Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
Great show.
Which you've been telling me ages to watch.
Yeah, watch that. But Netflix still, to me, is supreme to anything. Like, I'm surprised of how fast and quick they've dropped.
It could be from it could be from anything. You know, the thing is, like, you're right. Netflix does still pump out original movies, TV shows. But the thing is, like, the Netflix Stranger Things. Apparently, each episode was like
Yeah.
a ridiculous amount of money. I'm like, no wonder you're losing money
Yeah.
on like what on each
It was
episode.
like actual millions of dollars
Yeah,
per episode. It was like that. How? You're paying actors and like maybe like how expensive is CGI nowadays? Surely.
I know.
I don't know.
You gotta make sure it's get crisp. You
Actually,
want
CGI is very expensive lately. I don't know. I have noticed that.
but yeah, it's not looking good for Netflix. I've got Netflix, Disney Plus, Stan, basically, sharing all accounts. I do have Paramount Plus, but the only reason I got Paramount Plus is to watch Halo, which, real quick, we won't be getting into a Halo review to this episode, but the last episode that came out, for any of the fans of the video game, the episode was fucking fantastic. There was a lot of action elements that go into the episode, so that was like full gear episode, and it wasn't slow like a couple of episodes pre. Like, come on, just shoot something. You're a Master Chief, and stop taking your fucking helmet off. I'll be real quick. So obviously, 2 episodes ago, the last episode, he in a scene, no joke, he puts his helmet on and then starts walking, and the flip scene next, 2 seconds later, takes it off. I'm like, that was a bloody tease. Why did you do that? No joke. If like, space of 5 minutes, helmet on. Next scene, helmet off. I'm like, you guys suck.
I think you mentioned that in your last episode because there's someone that is a Sony kid, PlayStation kid, did not play Halo at all. I've played the latest one, which was really, really fun. I think it deserves more hype than what it currently has. But that show, as someone who has zero interest in Halo, looks terrible. Absolutely dog shit.
It's like I was saying to you yesterday, the UNSC, all the military things, Master Chief suit, I think that all looks fine. It's just the Covenant that looks a bit jarring. Like, oh god.
Granted, how do you make them look good anyway? There's something that's completely out of this world. Like,
Well, the thing is, you can do prosthetics, but like, how much more is it going to add to your budget?
yeah.
You know.
I think it was the Book of Boba Fett and Mandalorian. They've actually been using real life
They did, yeah.
stuff. And
That's why the CG
back to
looks...
Lord of the Rings days, where that
Yeah.
every single Uruk was it or
Everything that can be
they were just straight
propertized.
people, and I was like,
yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah, anything to be propertized, they do.
Yeah.
Which, because the thing is, you got to remember, Lucasfilm's arts, their studio, Magic and something, I can't remember what it's called. Like, you know that everyone that's working there is just a massive fan, so they're going to want to put that extra TLC into it. And it shows. So the last little bit of news before we get on to this main course of this episode is, which I would love to find out, especially from you, because you haven't posted anything, Moon Knight. What are you thinking about Moon Knight? Also, spoilers!
Moon Knight is going good. I'm generally the person to reveal a review at the end. I don't do an episode by episode. I do the full season. At the moment, it's good. It's like the latest episode was really jarring. Like, it was very like, what the hell is going on? In a good sense. I say that in a good sense. It was really good. But at the moment, just the main actor is just killing it. Oscar Isaac?
Yeah, Oscar Isaac.
Absolutely killing it. There's the other actor who was in Split and all that did the same kind of mixed personality. He also plays Professor Xavier.
James McAvoy.
Yep. Once again, he does a fantastic job jumping from personality to personality. And I think Oscar Isaac has done almost as good of a job as him because, like, Stephen being so like innocent and kind of fragile, and Mark being a mercenary, and then like another person who I'm sure we'll see later on. But like, it's just the CGI. Apparently, the costume isn't CGI.
No, so the costume isn't CGI. Only apparently the headpiece, everything. Apparently, even the lenses aren't CGI. Aren't CGI. Obviously, when you transform themselves, but
you have to do some things. But like, I saw an image of the costume, and I was like, they made that.
Yeah,
that looks sick. And like, I personally prefer Mr. Knight because that it's just so good. The episode in where like they're getting attacked and he takes over, and the guy drops and he goes, "Oh, sorry about that. You okay?" I'm like, God damn, that is hilarious. That is awesome because it's so perfect for the character. And he's turning around going, can we all just relax a bit? And he gets speared and he's like, alright, no, you take it over. Like, that was perfect.
I love that.
That's so far the highlight of the entire series for me, because that was just so perfect of every personality in that one person.
That particular scene. I did see the meme that was like someone took that and applied it to Thanos in Endgame. It's like, oh, and where'd they bring you? Back to me. And it's Moon Knight and Mr. Knight coming up to him. I'm like, oh god. But yeah, that scene was really good.
But we got 2 episodes left.
We've got 2 episodes left, and then we're straight into Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Now, the last episode, I found it... Now, when Moon Knight did start, because a lot of people actually got to see, earlier reviewers actually got to see the first 4 episodes.
Oh, okay.
Which, me and Mark right here would love to get to that stage. Actually got to see the first 4 episodes, and a lot of people actually said the fact that, the 4th one is just absolutely mind-boggling. So, which Marvel is keeping that trend of the 4th episode of a show is the one that smacks you right in the mouth, going, oh, you think this show's like this? Well, guess what?
Well, this is the first time it's going to be the 4th episode where it's so jarring, and then there's only 2 episodes. WandaVision had like another 6.
Yeah.
And Loki had another 4. Like,
yeah.
we only got 2 episodes to wrap this up.
I know.
Like,
but how good is Ethan Hawke being Arthur?
He's
such
doing
a menacing
fantastic
villain.
job. Like, for someone that's like so like low key and down to earth and like has that real calm speech about it, he's fucking killing it.
I know. Actually, I did see one reviewer which made a really good point, was the fact that the interesting thing about this show is that usually it's the other way around. Usually the hero is the calm and collected. The villain is insane. Talking, rambling on, and everything and we usually get the hero to be calm and collected and just start wanting to punch the villain, but the villain is the calm and collected, isn't punching, and the hero is the one who is unstable.
Yeah, I actually just had a thought thinking of the previous shows that Marvel brought out. I reckon Moon Knight's going to be the first one you can just watch and enjoy as a standalone everything, because WandaVision, the first 3 episodes are really kind of meh, and like you wouldn't really watch it from episode 1. You watch it from episode 3 or 4.
Yeah,
but you wouldn't watch it. And then Loki, you can kind of watch it by itself, but you need to watch everything else to get it.
Yes.
I think Moon Knight's going to be the first TV show it's like you can sit down and only watch Moon Knight and you will understand everything that's happening. You do not have to watch Marvel as a whole.
Yeah.
Even Hawkeye, you need to know who Hawkeye is. You need to know who Black Widow is.
Yeah.
To get it. But Moon Knight,
you pretty much could watch Endgame.
Yeah.
But
you
then
kind of do. Yeah.
And then
But Moon Knight, as itself so far, you can just watch it by itself. You don't have to. You can just appreciate it for what it is.
Exactly right.
That's good.
So I'm very curious how the last episode will end. Will it end into it? Will it do the same thing what Loki did, which right at the end it said he will be returning for a season 2. Don't know why I just threw that up.
I thought you were gonna flip me off. I was like, damn. Okay.
No, will it lead into a season 2? Because they didn't announce Loki season 2 until that last episode came out. Will it lead into Doctor Strange? But the last episode, it was no joke. You watched it, I love the horror elements. At this very start, I had so much Indiana Jones, Brendan Fraser's The Mummy vibes. I'm like, all you need is those scarabs to come out.
Yeah,
I'm like,
100%.
I fucking hate those scarabs every time I watch it. I really like that. Bringing in that horror elements, which is a good tease coming into Doctor Strange, because that's going to be the first Marvel horror film. And I love the fact just halfway through, it's just like, flip. 100%. It's like, you know what? Everything you know, too bad.
Marvel has so many aces up their sleeve at the moment. Like, people are easily forgetting Eternals happened.
Yeah.
Like, they're out there. There's Celestials now. There's ship that's...
Celestial robots that are hot.
Yeah. Damn. There's ship beyond Thanos just sitting out there now that has to obviously turn around and affect what's about to happen. And then, granted, I'm not the greatest on the TV shows. Like, I don't think they're the best. I prefer the movies. But, then Hawkeye, who's unfortunately most likely going to die at some point in the next phase or something. But, there's all this stuff that has to happen, but it's like, the timeline doesn't show it's going to happen.
No.
Like, when's the next time we see Hawkeye? Probably the next Avengers movie, honestly. Like,
Which Kevin Feige has announced there will be Avengers 5. There is no release date.
yeah, that's going to be a long time away.
I know. You know what's actually kind of scary is the fact that I think we're actually halfway or just a little bit further going through Phase 4. And the thing is, I can't believe it.
So does that mean there won't be an Avengers movie to end Phase 4? Because they're not.
No, there isn't.
Oh, I don't like that.
Because you know what ends Phase 4, don't you? Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four is the last movie of Phase 4.
So you'd assume Doctor Doom or something, because I don't think they've done a Fantastic Four #1 without... No, they haven't done a Fantastic Four dead set without Doctor Doom.
No.
Even Silver Surfer had Doctor Doom, didn't it?
Yeah, it did,
Yeah.
And the thing is, with Fantastic Four, which is giving me a lot of faith besides being Marvel, is that it's actually being directed by John Watts, who directed the Spider-Man No Way Home trilogy.
Oh, there you go.
He's coming back to do it. So I have faith in it, especially depending on what kind of age they do it at. But my thing is, how are you going to bring them in? Because it's going to have to be an origin story. That's the thing. It has to be, because the Baxter Building. No one's ever mentioned the Baxter Building. There's a giant building in New York that no one's not mentioned for 10 years. So it must have to get built or something.
It has to be, but like I look back at the first Fantastic Four and I go, that's actually not bad. And then I rewatched the newest rendition and I'm like, I can like it for what it is, but I can hate it if I look at it at Marvel.
Oh, there is an entire episode that we can do on the absolute bomb.
I'm going to say, I hope they end Phase 4 with Fantastic Four. Doctor Doom's in it, but Doctor Doom escapes. Because I want Doctor Doom to reach full potential of next level villainy where they need the Avengers to reassemble.
100%. Actually, no, it ends with him going up to Kang because he knows what's coming.
Hear that, Marvel? we accept checks through mail.
Please.
Just to subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe. All of your followers.
Marvel follows. Yeah! 40.
Marvel likes. But you're 100% right. But yeah, that's how it ends. So they're obviously the next year or 8 months we'll get sure we'll have to get that Phase 5, which it have to be Doctor Strange 3.
Yeah.
I think.
Will you like to see Captain America again? Not necessarily as Captain America.
Well, the rumor is they're going to make Captain America 4 with Anthony Mackie, which I like the suit. I briefly was watching your ranking of Marvel of 2021, and then you put the Falcon the Winter Soldier, and I thought it wasn't my highest.
Still crap.
Yeah, it wasn't my highest rated, but the which you did say in that video, there were a lot of key points that were really good, and I was like 100%. His suit is fantastic, and just that I think for me. The decapitation with the shield, the blood on the shield.
It was, what's his name? The US
agent.
Yeah, he won the show for me.
Yeah.
Him and Bucky, the one scene of Bucky with his redemption, but beyond that, I did not care about Falcon. He is not an interesting character to me. Even with his family and cleaning the boat and stuff, I'm like, I don't care. You had a Thanos level threat and you're worried about selling the boat. How are you not rich?
Yeah, I know.
This doesn't make sense.
But do you find that interesting? The fact that show shed a light the fact that, with Tony gone, no one gets paid.
Yeah, well, I guess so.
Yeah. But yeah, Moon Knight, if you haven't watched it, definitely go watch this last episode. If you are confused about anything that happened, drop a line to me or Mark. We're definitely happy to fill in the gaps for you, because that was a mind-bending what is going on, especially at the end with the hippo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need context. That's it.
No, that's it. Yeah,
That's
no joke. I know. I was.
If you didn't hear the spoiler part before, then you're just as confused as we are.
I know. I think I did say the other week I was explaining an episode of Moon Knight. And I thought to myself, I'm like, if anyone's listening to this, this sounds like complete, like I'm just hallucinating. I'm like, no, this is the plot of this
This is
show.
what I watched last night.
Yeah,
I swear to God.
Any drugs are a terrible thing. Anyway, all right, so let's get into this episode. We're going to go over what is the top and then what's yet to come out. So far, yes, with the episode, quarterly review of the year. So me and Mark will be doing another episode like this in June to recap on the other quarter of the year. And obviously we'll do another one, keep it on, because I think this would be really fun to keep going through. Yeah. So Mark's obviously the man right now because I can only follow you, sir. So let's start with the biggest one is Elden Ring, which we just mentioned the fact has just smacked everything in the mouth.
Yeah, well, like we already spoke about Elden Ring briefly, so we'll probably quick this one out. But Elden Ring has just destroyed any form of competition for Game of the Year. It's going to be something people will talk about. I've seen mums play this game as a first time, just playing it, and like she's a Twitch streamer and stuff, and that's just it. And she's playing it, she's really enjoying it. I'm like, this is insane because. Me personally, when I played From Software games, it was you smack your head against that brick wall till you beat that boss. You get good, as everyone likes to say, or you quit. Yeah, and that's it. But Elden Ring gives the experience of like, hey, this boss might be really hard, but you can go do about 18 different things in the same area and then come back when you're a little bit stronger and then give it another go. Yeah. Which is really good for, I imagine, a lot of people, but it wasn't good for me because I like direction in a game. I like to be able to see like the main mission,
like Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, where it's just that's the main quest. Here's all your little side objectives, but here's the main quest. Where Elden Ring doesn't tell you shit. No, it's like you want to know where I thought I was fighting my first boss. It was a sub-boss. I didn't fucking know. It was kicking my ass. Everyone knows Margit, if you've played Elden Ring, and he is the first boss you're pretty much introduced to, and he's not even the first main boss that you have to fight. He's just a sub-boss that stops you from getting into the castle. And he kicks your absolute ass.
I haven't played it. I probably won't pick it up because it's not my style of game, but watching the gameplay on TikTok and everything, I'm like, you know what? Nah.
I watch people enjoy it, which makes me want to play it, which is amazing what they've done, is like watching other people enjoy this that wouldn't necessarily enjoy it. It's a game for everyone type of thing, which is good. Yeah. But it's still hard, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of mental capacity to play it.
It's a grind. Like
you
need to invest. So if you go to purchase this game, you're going well for the fact that you need to invest. Yeah. This is not a weekend smash and dash.
Yeah, I've got a mate at work where he's been playing it, and he's like, if I don't dedicate 6 hours minimum for a playtime, I won't get anything done. So, it's good, but it's a grind.
That's insane. But the thing is, like, this is what we were talking about earlier, as like we touched on this as well, is that do you think the fact that the major popularity of this game, or the big pushing thing, besides the fact that it made 10 out of 10, it's doing outstanding, is the fact that, you know, in a time like this, we're getting something very rare. We've got a gaming company that's gone, here's a game, it's done. I'm sorry, what? It's done. There's no DLC. That's everything. You know, obviously we're going to do obviously updates to fix bugs, but that's it.
I think actually it's a good comparison to what Dean and I were talking about yesterday, where It Takes Two, the game of the year of last year. Me and my partner are currently playing that now. We're probably just over halfway, and I think that's a really good comparison. Elden Ring is the perfect single player, yet you can bring another person in for a boss fight, so it's mildly co-op. It's a single player game that's done. That we haven't seen that in the past 2 years because of COVID and everything. And then It Takes Two was game of the year because it was done, and it was a co-op game that was done. So you and your partner or you and your friend could sit down and you can just play it and it's done, and it has a lot of stuff to do. And I think that's what it's come to at the moment. I think maybe the next 2023 or 2024 will be a bit more all round, but at the moment it's just the fact we're getting something that's done and not broken is enough. And that's a bit sad, but it's also nice to see something that's done.
Well, that's exactly right, because it's not only livelihoods, movies, sporting events. The video game industry struggled as well with COVID, because you went from a team of 100 to a quarter that could actually work together. Had to do Zoom calls and everything. You had to work from home and everything, so they struggled too. And it's a reason why multiple things have been delayed, which is really kind of sad. And not to mention the fact that at least everything is back moving down, everything's really opened, so we shouldn't see any more delays that aren't out of the norm, and we should be getting full games again. Yeah,
it's another game that, even looking back at Far Cry 6, where Far Cry 6 came out and said, hey, here's the next three DLCs coming out. It's like, no, give me the game and give me all the content, or don't charge me for extra content. Like, that used to be a big thing in the Call of Duty era. People don't want it anymore.
No, just give us the full game.
Yeah, give us a game that's done and let us enjoy the content. Don't cut it halfway and be like, yeah, but you got to wait 6 months till this part comes out.
I know. That's why I always had the problem with buying the Game Pass. The only game I bought for Game Pass recently was I was playing Evil Genius, and they had a Game Pass. But the thing is, the game is actually fully done. All the DLC is only adding on top of that. So the games, if you just buy the game standard, it's fine. That's what the Game Pass, should be. The Game Pass should only be the fact that you're getting extra content that's only going to improve on what you're already playing. Shouldn't be the fact that if you play the Game Pass and with all DLC, you actually have the full game.
Yeah. Like Ghost of Tsushima, when they did their DLC, I could understand, because what they released wasn't big enough for its own game, and it just added on top of what was already existing. But even still, when they released Legends, I'm pretty sure Legends was free, and that was a multiplayer experience. So it's like, I don't know, just DLC is something in the past, and the fact that Elden Ring was done, and they've been doing nothing but putting patches upon patches of supporting the game since then. How can you not love that, even if you don't like the game itself? That's just it.
That's exactly right. That's a gaming studio delivering on their promise. My wholesome thing that I do always love every time I think about it is the fact that with God of War, the sequel got delayed. Got delayed slightly because the fact that Christopher Judd, who does the voice acting of Kratos, I think he had an injury or he had to go do some surgery, so obviously he couldn't do the voice recording. They delayed it so that when he was all healthy again, he could come back into it.
My favourite fun fact of God of War was the first one it came out, they put so much time and effort into the game, they forgot they had to make a demo. They forgot all about it. So when they made their demo, they were broke. The game had no more funding. If that demo failed, the game failed. Simple as that. They had multiple moments of being like, we're out, we're tapped. And that's it. But because every bit of hype kept going up, once again, if you haven't watched it, I think I've mentioned this before on this podcast, there's an hour-long just documentary of how God of War was made.
You need to watch it.
The effort and the dedication that team had, Santa Monica Studios,
and
insane.
Look how it came out. And that's God of War still will set the test of time. As I mentioned earlier, I think Red Dead Redemption would have got Game of the Year that year if it wasn't for God of War. But Elden Ring's definitely smashed at the door. We've also got Gran Turismo, which did really well.
It's done really well, but it's also done badly.
Yeah.
Because of the online only component, and there's a lot of things that people aren't very happy. They did a day-long patch, so no one could access the game because it was online. So no one could access the game at all.
Actually, no.
My
old man was actually telling me that. My old man, who only plays one game, which is just Gran Turismo, and it will be the only reason he gets a PlayStation 5. He mentioned the fact that they do a day one patch.
Yeah.
What makes you wonder what was the game breaking thing that you neared the entire thing down?
Well, also, like, don't put a game that's only... Like, imagine if Horizon was only online.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
You're right.
Horizon, not... Because I say Horizon, but people could think of Horizon Forbidden West or anything, but no, Horizon is in the racing game, Xbox Horizon. If they did that online only, people would have a fit.
But do you remember... Actually, this will test your memory. Yeah, the Xbox One, when the fact it was only going to be online when they announced it. Remember that?
Yeah.
And the pure backlash that everyone was like, why? What happens if I don't have access to online?
I never did Xbox when they had Kinect, but I just knew apparently Kinect was just this big, bulky waste of space.
It was nothing like the iToy.
Oh man, the iToy.
I missed those
That was my
games.
childhood. Playing a Kung Fu game.
Yes!
Oh god, that was great.
Uh,
Anyway, Nintendo Switch Sports coming out.
yeah, I know, but you're right. Like, a game shouldn't be online the whole time. The thing is, like, yes, in this day and age, everyone has, access to being online. The only thing is, like, what if your internet's down? You just want to play a game and you can't.
Online elements are a really good part of gaming, but when you think of, I reckon, like, you have a lot of good experiences on online games, but like an actual story that drives you in, and it's just single player, and they turn around and go, no, there's no online. There's no online at all, and you're just like, you've really put a lot of effort into your story because otherwise you have nothing else to offer.
Yeah,
and that's perfect the way it is, and I think that's a little bit rare nowadays, and
which is the sad part. What else we got was the fact that you, Lovely, did obviously a review on most of these games, which you've done fantastically well. Which Ghostwire Tokyo. Now, this game, when I was watching your review, I thought, this is just BioShock.
A lot of BioShock elements. I did compare it to BioShock quite heavily. Yeah, all the hand movements and stuff.
It is like, just pun intended, but like it's literally like doing Doctor Strange from your video of like just the hand movements.
I reckon it needed more traction or more hype or something. They didn't really hype it up at all. But when playing it was surprisingly way better than I thought it was going to be. Like
it wasn't on. Looking back now on well, for me especially, when I did my episode of the top games to look out for this year, when I did in January, I don't think I put this on my list.
No, I had to go out of my way to almost find it. It's something that wasn't on my radar, but then I saw it and I was like, visually, this is really nice.
Yeah,
and
visually, it looks
got
stunning.
a lot of good reviews for that. The only thing that I would also say in my review is that it's quite repetitive. It gets to a point where it's really repetitive and stuff like that, and the story's good, but not great. I think it does take a very niche market to like the game. I feel like if you're an anime fan, you'll like it, or if you're a fan of all things Japan, you'll like it, but beyond that, it's nothing to go crazy about.
No. But it's done so well, and we're on highest rated games so far this first quarter. The next one is Pokemon Legends
Arceus.
Thank you. I fucking butchered it when I made the episode in January. I looked at the word, I'm like, I can't pronounce it.
I couldn't go on Google Speech for a second.
Yeah, and like the funny thing is, I think after the episode released, I think even Mark, you sent me a voice message or a messenger that was like, "It's a thesis, you shit."
I think even I say it wrong. There's just too many different ways of saying it, and every time I hear someone else say it a different way, I'm like, "Nah, that doesn't sound right."
You're wrong. Comment.
That game, once again, in the review, fantastic. I would have just preferred a little bit more substance to it. So I think there's another one got announced. I can't even think of it right
Violet.
now. Violet. Yeah, they're taking the gameplay elements that they started with, and they're adding the Elite Four. They're adding the gym battles, which to me, that's what the game needed. It was too bland.
You find it was too hollow?
It was too hollow. All you did was catch things, which was great because it was different in the way they normally did it, but there was nothing else but that. Like, Perry, props to him, caught all 248 Pokemon and then fought Arceus, which was the final boss, I couldn't do that shit. That was just too exhausting. I was like, okay, I'm done the story. I've caught like 158, I think it was. I'm like, nah, I'm done. I don't need to go scour the lands to catch a fucking Weedle. Like, I'm good.
Have you seen... Sorry, slight side point. Because you mentioned... It's a game that's kind of, I think, coming out this year. It's like Pokemon, but it's not Pokemon. It's similar like the Nintendo DS games where you walk around to different towns and stuff like that. But it's like Pokemon, but I can't think of the name of it, but it's something that you would like. So they're monsters and stuff like that, but it's very obviously like,
Is this Digimon?
No, I want a new Digimon game. I love Digimon. Digimon monster. Yeah. Anyway, I can't remember, but I will find it for you. But there is a game coming out this year that's very similar, but it's actually building a little hype to it.
Okay, alright.
I think it was on one of those videos that we watched. It was like highly anticipated games this year.
Yeah.
But I could tell you, so tell the time I'll save my life. But yeah, I do remember your video saying the fact that it's interesting that this game's come out, and then like, a little bit later they announced, Pokemon Violet, which is pretty much, this with the extra content.
I think it was very on purpose. It was, hey, let's bring out this to see if people like it, and then we'll do something more traditional, but with that sense.
Yeah, because it's Violet and...
Oh, that's annoying.
I can see it. I can see what it is. Violet and...
The starters do look fantastic, though, the way they've done their starters and everything.
Because that was all over my Facebook, TikTok, everything.
Yeah. My favourite part about Pokemon...
Scarlet.
That's it. My favourite part about when a Pokemon game gets announced, it's a new generation, is everyone guesses what the final evolved form of the starters is going to be. And that's one of the best things about the community, because they do such cool drawings where you get the final star and you're like, oh, I kind of like the fan one better, to be honest.
Yeah, I know. And you're looking like, yeah. So that's coming out, I think, October or November, isn't it?
Yeah, it's actually this year. Yeah, surprisingly, I think it is this year, because they only released Arceus really not that long ago, and I think the hype is only really just dying down for it, like as of last couple of months.
Yeah, I've just got later this year. I've got no release date, which, as we know as gamers, means
anything.
Jack.
It doesn't mean
means anything. But yeah, that came out. That looked visually. So if you haven't played already, definitely go check it out. Definitely go check out Mark My Words' review of it. Now this next one, we've got three more on this list. Next one, now we haven't got the physical copy for this yet. It has been released around the world, but I will be picking up the physical copy because it's really curious to see what this is like. But Sifu.
Yes.
Oh, it's Saifu. Or
Sifu. No, you got it right the first time.
Yeah.
That's kind of taken the world by storm a bit. That really did go really well, but unfortunately, downloadable only, which I know we're both not a fan of digital games. We really prefer our own physical copies.
Yeah,
I don't know, feels better. It's a bit old school, but it just feels better.
Oh, it saves space on the PlayStation.
Yeah,
anyway,
that's it.
The difference between me and you is that you return yours. I keep them, and you're like, why do you keep them? I'm like, because I want to go back to them. I don't want to be like, I have to go back to the shop. But then again, I don't buy as many games as you do.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best part about what I do, is I can turn over a game and I don't actually spend anything. But that is something that I don't even know whether I'm going to make a comment on what I do or not, because anyway, Sifu does look fantastic. Like, it's a different kind of graphical market that we haven't really seen yet, and yeah, it looks really good, and it's gotten fantastic reviews. Yes. It might be on the Game of the Year list, but it's not doing anything compared to Elden Ring. No,
it's nothing to that level. I'm just curious, and I just like the concept, the fact that, which gives me like Dragon Ball Z vibes, the fact that like you die, you die, you gain more skill, and when you come back, but every time you die, you age.
It's such a cool concept. Whoever thought of that, well done. That is such a cool concept.
Yeah.
I like how if you've died 3 times, then you add 3 years the next time you die. It's like the more you die is the more you age per level you go up.
Yeah, exactly right. So you got to make sure you're not
It is funny watching
in a casket at the end.
It is funny watching gameplay though, because it looks simple, but everyone talks about how hard the game is. So, yeah, I am pretty keen to get my hands on it, but we will be waiting for a physical copy.
Yes, we are. Yeah, which I think is in 2 months or something.
Yeah, it's not that far away.
No. Another game coming out this year. Come out. Horizon Forbidden West, which I loved your review of the invisible enemy.
I've had a couple of people say that there is an enemy called, like, I think it's a Strider, where they are invisible. This is way early in the game that they're not even there, so that was actually a bug of a person being invisible attacking me, and I'm just swinging in the air.
You get to watch it. His character's like facing one way, swipes, and then gets hit in the back.
Yeah, then
and
actually goes
just
through
going nuts.
An actual cutscene thing of them doing like a close combat thing, and I'm just like, what's hitting me?
It's John Cena.
I think Horizon Forbidden West is the perfect example of sequelitis. The first one was so good that the second one struggled to hold the same kind of concept.
I think 100% from what your review was, but you know what's funny is, like, turn the clocks back, is that when we did our first episode with Dean, Ranting with the Boys, which was episode 5 of Lights Camera History and Lore and Archive of Lights Camera, you actually mentioned how much you were in hype of the game.
I really was, but that may have had something to do with it, but yeah, I'm... If you want to hear some brutal renditions of reviews, that's what I'm about. So Horizon Forbidden West was something I was looking forward to, and I'm giving my straight up. I was excited for this. I wanted this to be good, but this is what I saw. Yeah. Same with Lego. Like, I was excited for it. I wanted something to take down Elden Ring. Yeah,
Lego Star Wars has also come out, which has done well, which a lot of people were expecting it to be Game of the Year, but that's what I mean. Elden Ring's kind of like... smashed everything in the mouth.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I took that and I went, Lego Star Wars is good, but here's the real skin and bones of it, where it's cut down renditions of the original Lego games. Yeah. It's what you think is going to be 6 hours per episode. It's like 2. It's really cut down, but that's just...
Hey, don't tell us anymore. Look, I'll give credit where it's due. Mark does give a very honest and brutal review of the games that you do review. So, like, you're arguing a full honest opinion of his skill and, like, his first impressions of the game. So, I tip my hat off to that to you.
No, thank you.
I think my most brutal review I've ever done was What If? Not What If? Don't Look Up.
Yeah.
I think I slandered that. I was like, this is just shit.
That really cut the community though. Anyway, we won't get into that.
No, that's another thing.
Oh.
But so that's what came out. But yeah, Horizon Forbidden West. The interesting thing was the fact that, do you remember when it got announced, or no, when we got the first gameplay or trailer, and people were complaining about her appearance?
Yeah.
Like, it's just the next gen.
Yeah, I don't know why they complain about it so much, but I'm pretty sure they changed it to then suit the audience a bit better, but I didn't see a problem.
There was no problem. I remember you also were versing invisible horses that you could see their armor, but you couldn't actually see.
Yeah, some animals I wouldn't see them, but I could see the parts of them that you could then shoot off, which is just purely one of the game mechanics. So if anything, I could see the skeleton, but I couldn't see the actual creature. I haven't heard anyone else get the kind of bugs I did, but that's just one of those bad luck.
And the invisible door, wasn't it? There was one where it was like, you're trying to access an area, but you can't.
That was, so you had the world in which you're in a story element, so therefore it cut off areas. So there was the yellow markers was telling you to go some way, but that was blocked off for me. Little did I know, I had to go all the way around, backtrack the way I came to then go to that area.
Oh.
So it's just the way marker was kind of in the wrong spot, or didn't actually show me the correct way. So there was just a little bit buggy, but I'm sure they fixed that by now. Still graphically amazing and all that kind of stuff, but it's just a little bit of a letdown, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's sad, because I know the first one blew a lot of people out of the water. No one could speak highly enough, and not to mention the fact that I'm pretty sure correct me, the main character.
Aloy.
Yeah, she's in the intro for like the PlayStation logo.
She is, yeah.
For that starts at the start of beginning.
I
Uncharted.
still put Horizon on that pedestal. Like even with the second game, it's still up there. The world they've created is still amazing. It's just unfortunately it didn't rip you in like it did the first one. It could have been DLC. That entire game
That's right.
could
You
have been
mentioned that.
DLC.
Yeah. That's what's sad because you get so hyped, and then when it comes out, because obviously compared to movies, video games obviously take longer, and then when it finally comes out, you're like, oh
Yeah.
it's like
That's okay, that happens, but then every now and then you'll get a game they'll then just blow you out of the water and you'll be like, oh wow, this is actually really awesome.
no. That's what I found with besides the glitches, that's what I found with Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed the storyline. I was like, this is actually really cool, and I liked all the customization of your gun and the fact that you could do all the cybernetic things with your arm. Like, this is really good. And the thing is, I was going to pick it up. It was only because you and Dean were talking about it. I thought, oh yeah, why the hell not?
Yeah. That's what I'm looking forward to once it's all fixed and DLC comes out for it. I plan to tackle that, and I reckon it'll be a lot better than my first experience. I'll go in there nice and clean-minded, and yeah, we'll see what it's like.
Yeah. Now, this last game, I haven't picked this up yet, but a few of my friends have told me, including you, to go check it out. I saw one guy on TikTok because the soundtrack is just metal, apparently, which speaks to me. If you haven't, go check out the last episode where we reviewed Metal Lords. Tina Turner's Wonderland by Gearbox.
Tiny Tina's.
Oh, I butchered that.
Yeah, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. That is a review that you will be seeing shortly from me. I haven't actually mentioned that. I've got that gameplay. I need to make the audio, and I just need to code it together. But that is something you will see from me. A sneak peek into it is pretty much Tiny.
It's crap.
Tiny Tina's. As someone, I have to understand, I don't like Borderlands. This is a Borderlands game, but it's like a spin-off.
Yeah, because there's something else, isn't there? Didn't they do DLC Tina's?
I think it is still Tiny Tina's like Wonderlands or Dungeons Keep.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, that became on PlayStation Plus last month or the month before.
So that was DLC. That I don't rate the DLC at all, but the game surprised me a lot. Like, as someone that doesn't like Borderlands, I gave it a go. The comedy was there. I actually laughed. I was like, this is actually pretty good. The characters are really good. The story elements being Dungeons & Dragons is good. The only negative I have for it is that it was very side quest heavy. I got to a point where I was about 7 levels below what I was meant to be for the main quest. And they were like, you can't do this unless you're stronger, so you have to go do side quests. And that annoyed the hell out of me, because I'm like, let me play the game.
Yeah.
I'm that hooked into the story. Why should I have to stop playing the story that I want to play to level up and do stuff? So that's just a role-playing game genre, though. So it's a little bit my fault, a little bit their fault.
You hear that, Gearbox?
Yeah, but the game itself is really nice, but expect a bit of a grind.
Because everything I've seen about that has been really positive as well. Even IGN's was really positive about it, how good it was doing. And Gearbox has done a fantastic job with that Borderlands. Even if you don't like it, Borderlands franchise, everybody loves it, especially the comedy things. This is me just being a fan, but like Gearbox has the rights to Duke Nukem, and I really want them to make a new game from fresh.
Yeah, without 7 years of delay.
11 years of delay.
11 years of delay.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I think right now would be a perfect time to release a game like him, because the fact that he is not like socially acceptable.
PC.
He's not PC.
Yeah.
So I think it would be such a good like smash in the mouth of everything.
And there's been enough space between a Doom game where that would be nice, actually.
Well, I was thinking with Doom Eternal, that's the latest one, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's still doing very well, but that came out what? 6 years ago? When did we went to America?
Oh, don't fucking,
Sorry, 4 years ago.
It came out on the Switch like 2 years ago.
Everything comes to Switch later.
Oh,
I hate when people go, it's coming to Switch. I'm like, cool, go get a normal console to finish it.
Man, that Duke Nukem would actually be really good. Let's have a look here. Doom Eternal 2020. No, it was 2 years ago. 20th of March 2020.
Why did I think? Oh, I think we saw it.
It's probably the original Doom. I don't think we saw Doom at E3.
No, there was that giant statue that you wanted to pose in front of.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh god, I said Doom release date. It said 1993. Relax.
Yeah. Well,
Not
sorry,
one
so it
minute.
has been out for a while. Nah, but you're exactly right. And I think, not saying that you need to dig a grave, for money, but I'm saying that which I feel like this is also happening. Same thing with movies, that people are only sticking to franchises. They're not taking the long shot. Look at Days Gone.
Yeah.
That did really...
That did badly.
No, it wasn't the game good, but the sales were shit.
No. Yeah, so the game came out and people liked it, but it was a little bit buggy, so they kind of took... That was the main feature. It was buggy. The game itself is still sitting there with like one of my top 20 games ever made. It's fantastic. And then the recent thing that happened was the people that made Days Gone, something happened with Horizon 2 coming out, and they gave it like, I don't know, a platinum award or something like that, and Days Gone was sitting here like, we hit just as many sales, but no one gives a crap about us.
Yeah, I know.
And like that game, people gave it so much crap because it was a little bit buggy. Once you get past the buggy section, the story is so good. So good.
Yeah.
And like, I've still got one of the songs like on my Spotify playlist because it's so heartbreaking.
But
that scene, it's
they're
so
not
good.
making a sequel.
No.
That's the thing is like, that's why my point is like, you need to take the long shot on these games because turn the clocks back 10 years. One of the most iconic franchises that we're still playing today are long shots.
I think Duke Nukem has a bit of space. Unfortunately, after their 11-year cycle, that was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. But like, let's be honest, they brought back Crash Bandicoot 4, which people have been wanting for absolute ages.
Yeah.
They brought back Ratchet and Clank, Rift Apart, which people want. Fantastic game. Fantastic game.
Great.
But yeah, I reckon there's still space to bring Duke Nukem back easily. But it's going to be hard to get the funding and the hype. Honestly, they could deliver shit and it would still be better than the 11-year shit.
No.
So they could still, no matter what, make a profit.
I know. And that's the thing is, that's why we have the points, because Gearbox is doing so well with Borderlands. It's between this, Borderlands 3, which is still reviewed very well. You've got the money.
Don't pretend like you don't. Borderlands is very particular, I've noticed, with who likes and who doesn't. I've noticed their comedy is a very in-between. Some people can't stand it, and that's why they don't play it, and some people just love it.
Because it's just what you like and what you don't like.
But back to Tiny Tina's, give it a go, but you will be grinding.
Yeah.
You will.
All right, I'll keep that in mind for myself. Because I do want to pick that up. Because I think Sifu was just around the corner, and then the other game I want to pick up, which was 2 Point Campus, got delayed until August, and I pre-ordered the. All right, so let's flip. So that's the. So to me, to you, those 6 games, what has been your biggest impact so far?
Ooh, okay.
Obviously not Elden Ring because you haven't played that, but with what you've played so far of these games, or
Because as bad as it sounds, Returnal was a last year game, but playing it in co-op has been the best gaming experience I've had this year.
Like they can tell from Perry.
Like, that's just it. Like, if I look back at the games that have come out and the ones I've reviewed, where it's Pokemon, Guardians of the Galaxy, was that this year?
No, it was last year.
That was
last year. That was a great game.
It was a great game.
And for anyone who said, if anyone says it did poorly, the story, the mechanics, all of that was really good.
Yeah. How could someone take what Marvel has created and actually make something good that has the same licensing? That is a feat in itself. But Pokemon Horizon, Pathless, Ghostwire Tokyo, there's a couple of games I have done, but if I had to think of it, Returnal Ascension, which even though Returnal is a last year game, that's been my best gaming experience of this year.
Yeah.
If I had to say solely this year's games, I'd probably say Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yeah, because you're a big Bioshock fan.
It's just different.
Yeah,
that's what it was. It was different.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's very rare we get that nowadays. And Ghostwire, that's probably one of the reasons why it failed. Is because it's just different.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's taking the long shot.
Yeah, and that's the whole franchisee is better than everything. That's why, like, Lego Star Wars had so much backing it because it's had so much past. But Ghostwire Tokyo, nothing. But I'd be surprised if we find something as visually appealing as Ghostwire Tokyo.
Well, let's get into that right now. So that's the first quarter of 2022. So let's get into what's yet to come. Now, these next 6 games are the most talk about points coming forward of what's yet to come. So let's talk about the number one game briefly about what most likely will smash out Outer Ring, which we do hope is God of War. There's no release date yet. The developer has gone on record saying it is coming out this year, guaranteed.
100%. Like the main creator, who love that man, but unfortunately I cannot think of his name at the moment. He came out and gave this full rendition of how they've been going and what they're up to, and they didn't actually specify when it was coming out. And someone tweeted one of the developers, and the developer turned around and said, "Yes, this is coming out in 2022." So it's nice to have some reassurance. We know nothing, and I kind of want that. The trailer they gave us was just stunning, and the gameplay was awesome. There's more God of War, which is what we want, but yeah, I just hope it doesn't suffer from sequelitis, because the original was so good. So good.
You mean, well, this is number 5.
Well, yeah, technically.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Which, the God of War, the original God of War trilogy is, praised so highly on how it just, his story arc alone and the gameplay is spoke highly. And then, God of War is the perfect example of how you compare to the last one to when you make a sequel to the game and you break ground and you build on what's already come, but you build something fresh, new, and you actually, you're not just trying to print out money, you're actually trying to bring something more to this world, and you're putting TLC, a lot of TLC into this game, which, this is being Ragnarok, which we do know the fact that Norse mythology lore is the fact that Ragnarok is their version of the apocalypse, the end of times, the end of days. So it's going to be very interesting to see how is that going to play. Yeah,
they've teased so much in the first game, because there was a map that everyone kind of really over specified, where they had runes in each corner. Each corner was a different mythology, so Egyptology was in there, and then I know Greek, and then there was where he is from the first 3 games, which is Zeus and everything. Is that
Greek mythology.
That's Greek?
Yeah.
Oh, he's in Norse. Sorry.
Thor is
Greek, Norse, Egyptology, and there was one more. So they've hinted that,
it could be Egypt because, Anubis and...
Yeah, he could continue to then, tackle those other gods and all that kind of stuff, which, man, can you imagine Kratos and Egyptology?
I've killed more gods than you ever know. I remember when they did the first trailer, is that so many people, it wasn't really backlash. It wasn't really, but people complaining the fact it's fat Thor.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's how, not every,
It doesn't have to look the same.
No, it doesn't.
I still look, because you only get a glimpse of him if you go back to his house and you sleep for the night, you wake up and Thor's at your front door, and that's the tease into Ragnarok.
Yeah.
You have to actually go out of your way to find that cutscene. But that alone was enough for me to go, because they went back to Norse mythology, Mjolnir.
Mjolnir.
God damn it. That was a tongue twister of a sentence.
I know. It's not even like how you pronounce it, it's not even how it's spelled. There's a J in there.
Stupid English. But yeah, I don't care, man. Why do people complain about, this doesn't look like Thor from Marvel? Shut up.
Well, actually it does now. Right now it does.
Imagine if Chris Hemsworth just happened to be in God of War. Getting his shit kicked
I know. If he was voicing it, I think people would lose their fucking minds if he
They
was.
would.
But like if he did it a completely different Thor, like he didn't play it like
You know what? A Jason Momoa would be a good Norse voice for Thor.
Yeah, that's very true. Actually, you know, it's funny. If Jason Momoa did actually voice Thor, it would be actually the second time that both Christopher Judd, who voices Kratos, and them would be on the same kind of page.
Oh,
Yeah, because they were both in Stargate and Stargate Atlantis.
Oh yeah, that's totally you right there.
But yeah, that actually be the second time. But yeah, when I saw it, I was like, yeah, he just looks like a god, and my my instant thing is like, Kratos is probably like, I'm gonna get that hammer.
So
I'm gonna get that hammer.
I can wield that.
Yeah, I can wield it. Are you looking at my hammer? Yep, I can wield that too.
He's like, what do I need for that? Licking his lips.
Yeah. What quest? Tell me. I'll
just take it.
Yeah, I'll take it. Nah, stuff it. Yeah, so that's the biggest. That's probably the biggest game.
It's my top 3. It's in my top 3.
Yeah. What's tell us, what's your other 2?
Well, easily, I think we already have it written down, is Forspoken.
Yes.
This is all coming from the same developer. So Forspoken and then Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah, that's right. So Forspoken is October the 11th, and Final Fantasy is June 16th.
So Forspoken, I reckon, is going to be... It's a brand new IP, and it looks stunning. They used that gameplay as gameplay to show off the PS5 and the Xbox and what it can do.
That's right, they did too.
Yeah, people forget about that, but like it's just... It's new. It's a new IP, and the fact that the story is like a girl that's taken out of our kind of universe and then thrown into a medieval magical universe. She knows nothing, but apparently she's got all this power of magic and everything, but she has no idea how to use it. It's like that alone is just intriguing.
X-Men.
Yeah, she's a mutant. But yeah, that has... as a sole IP, the most interest, but then Final Fantasy 16, as I've never really been interested in Final Fantasy till I played the remake and 15 with Perry. 16 has now gathered hype because now I know I can play that with him and have that same experience. And that's what I'm looking forward to. So...
No, that should be good. I still remember the Final Fantasy remake, how that announcement was an absolute blunder. How they're like, oh, yeah, this is it. Oh, when are we going to get it? Oh, not anytime soon.
Oh, yeah. 3 years.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Thumbs up. Yeah.
Which I said in my last episode, I have no doubt that's probably what they've done with Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
You've seen the trailer and you're like, oh, so when are you going to see it?
See what?
See what? give what back?
I don't know what you mean.
I don't know. What game?
Anyway.
Do you see this on our release schedule?
Yeah.
But no, I'm very curious about Forspoken to see how that will do, being a new IP at this type of level. Final Fantasy is printing money.
Yeah,
pretty much by now. Another game that I am looking forward to. Now, this actually got announced. I didn't put on the list, but I actually forgot about it. That I really want to play with you, Dean and Perry, which I think would be so much fun, is that Ghostbusters Unleashed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
is it Unleashed? Yeah, I think Unleashed.
I think it's Unleashed. I think you're right.
Yeah, and that's coming out. It's not my most highly anticipated game, but the fact they got announced and that's coming out at the end of the year, which is same thing, 4 people, 1 person plays as the ghosts, or you do in reverse and you go try
I would really like to line that up because it's very rare. Like back in the Apex days, me, Dean, and Perry would play, but it's very rare we've gotten all 4 of us to play anything, unless we go to games nights and play Worms and stuff like that. But yeah, that would be really good.
That's right. And the thing is, like, you can tell by the thing that you can at least have a team of 4.
Yeah.
Unlike,
I think it'd be nice if we could maybe get another TV and then do split screen and be in the same room together. I think that will provide a lot more.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But like, it just came out of nowhere. And then when I watched the trailer, voice actors from the original Ghostbusters, I'm like, so
see, that's the TLC. That's the people that know that they love their franchise, so they're coming back for something.
Yeah, and with Ghostbusters, what do you want to do? You just want to be a Ghostbuster, you know. And the fact is, like, they're going to use, like, this is almost like a perfect play setting for Ghostbusters for this genre. For you to be a team of 4 going against ghosts and doing it in reverse. I'm curious to see what abilities that you have as a ghost to take out people. Like, that's the most thing I'm curious about. And like, is there a way that, if they lay a trap and you're getting sucked, do you have a way to get out of it?
No, that would be interesting.
That's but from the trailer and everything I've seen so far, I'm looking forward to that. So that's coming out, I think, very late this year. Another big game that I don't think it'll be game of the year, but I think it's probably right after God of War. It's got a lot of hype. Is Hogwarts Legacy?
Hogwarts has a lot. It's been hyped a lot. So once again, it's going to come down to one of those factors. Is like, is this getting too much? Is it getting too much? But at the moment, it looks pretty damn good.
That trailer we got was it last month?
Yeah, it wasn't long ago.
It was like PlayStation Play, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I was like, this looks actually pretty good.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't going to purchase it when I saw it go announced, but after watching that trailer, I was like, Amazon, pre-order.
The fact it's a single player journey that's enough for me, because it's that big of a game and it's a single player journey. That's them saying, we've put so much time into this, we don't need multiplayer. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah, exactly right. And not to mention the fact that, pretty much it's not Harry Potter. It's, it's your own character that's going through Hogwarts. So you're creating your own adventure. It's not like, you're going down the same road and, you fight the same people. It's completely old school. It's Bully, but Harry Potter.
It'd be very interesting to see if it has enough substance to hold on to itself.
Yes.
Like, for example, I know there's games like Persona 5 and whatnot that are really based around getting to know your classmates, and you go to class, and that is kind of the game, and it's a bit hit and miss for some people, but like, I need that little bit of action, I need that bit of mystery and that bit of pizzazz and graphics wise to keep me drawn in. So I hope it has that, but it also could suffer for being that long that you need to grind.
That's
we'll see what happens.
That's very true.
My hype is still up for it though. I'm still keen for it.
Yeah, same here. I did see a promo the other day, and it was like them showing off all the different spells. And I think the last caption was like, "But we all know that one spell that you want to use." And you're like, "You're damn right."
Yeah, I want to kill
someone. I want to kill someone. You cheat on your test, huh?
It's like Infamous when they had the good and bad meter. It's like,
I know,
killing everything. Alright, chicken.
I'm dumping you.
I reckon that TikTok's going to come back with a. That's going to come back as soon as that comes
100%, yeah. Especially if that becomes on the Switch or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know. Throws the controller. Another one that's also coming out, which is going to be a reboot, which has no tile. Oh, sorry, has a tile, but nothing else. Is Saints Row.
Yeah,
Did you ever
that's
play
right.
Saints Row?
Pardon?
Did you ever play Saints Row?
I didn't. I had Saints Row 4 loaded in, ready to go because it was free on the PlayStation Plus. And I never played it. Granted, as you know, I'm not a big GTA Red Dead fan.
Oh, please, for anyone who's listening in, subscribe to him and tell him to play Red Dead. At least play Red Dead 2 to the end.
I played a bit of Red Dead 2, but I didn't play
a bit of Red Dead. Oh, I did this for a bit.
But Saints Row looks really good, but I haven't given it the time. So I probably need to do that. But
I definitely played them before. It was so I played Saints Row 2. So originally when it came out, it was meant to be the Grand Theft Auto killer. It was meant to rival it. It was meant to.
I could see why.
But then it started going to the comedic route. There's a lot actually. If you go back, there's actually a lot of famous people that have also given their names and everything to it.
The Rock. Oh no. Terry
Crews and Burt Reynolds. Even Burt Reynolds is it, and like you go into the scene where you got to meet the mayor of the town, and he's the mayor, and even your character's like, Burt Reynolds is the fucking mayor of the town, and everyone's like, yeah, why? He's like, Burt Reynolds?
Yeah, break that fourth wall.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, I might have to do this.
But then I think it got like that, and then you become, I think, number 4, number 3, you become the president of the United States of America, and then aliens come into it, and it gets a lot crazy, and then it gets superpowers. So they went that way.
Yeah. Which, you know what? I'd probably enjoy that more than GTA.
Yeah, it's great. It was when the superpowers came in, it was just funny, going really fast and smashing a pedestrian, going, "Hey!" But no, you enjoy it. So I'm very curious from this trailer to see how it's going to go, because it looks interesting. It looks like they're drawing back a lot of those elements, but they're combining probably all 4 together. So that's got a release date of August 13th, so that's going to be interesting. Another one that, now, I'm 50-50 on this, Gotham Knights. So Gotham Knights and the Suicide Squad game both got announced at the same time. For me personally, I wanted Suicide Squad first, but that got delayed to next year because this is a sequel, and it's still by Rocksteady, to Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
And the fact that, it's you play the Suicide Squad, so obviously you get to kill, and the gameplay looks fantastic. On the flip side, you got Gotham Knights that got announced, which Batman's dead, you get to play as the 4 teammates, and it takes more of that team element from Arkham Knight.
Well, I'm definitely more keen for Suicide Squad than I am Gotham Knights. I'm definitely more of a fan of the villains than I am compared to the heroes. I really don't know a lot about everyone about Gotham Knights, but yeah, I agree with you. The gameplay for Suicide Squad looks awesome.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, it looks good. Obviously you get to play all the main villains, and you're going up against the Justice League because it ends with Superman. It looks like Brainiac is invading the city, and to me that was a lot more interesting than Gotham Knights. But then Gotham Knights, right at the end of the trailer, was like teasing the Court of Owls, which we haven't really seen in a video game aspect because the Court of Owls is 2000s comic. It's not.
It's one of the highest Batman comics around, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but it's not actually in the lore. It's 2000s.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's right. It's a recent comic.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, it's like a recent comic. It's not like deep in the lore, like Mr. Freeze and everything like that. So I'm curious. Obviously, we'll see more trailers when that game comes out. I'm curious to see how it do, especially with Red Hood in it, because obviously Red Hood kills compared to the rest.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting and see how the Court of Owls will maybe they have anything to do with Batman's death.
Yeah.
But
because Gotham Knights comes out first and Suicide Squad has been pushed back.
Yeah.
Which is really unfortunate because the story, and I think in the trailer of Suicide Squad where I think the Flash was in it and it looked all obviously taken over, that looked really cool.
Yeah. That's the thing. It was like both got announced, so I was like, Suicide Squad got delayed. Why? And they're like, we still have Gotham Knights.
Take Gotham Knights.
Yeah, take that. Just take that. So overall, that's the major releases still yet to come. I really do hope the fact that we get a release date for God of War coming out, which I'm sure will be right around the corner. That's pretty much all the major releases. So if we do another episode like this in June, hopefully we have a release date for that. I look forward to your review of God of War.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one to do. Of course, over here at Mark My Words, I want to thank Lights Camera Rant for having us on the podcast once again. Definitely a big fan of this guy, and if you're not following and listening to every episode, you're missing out. So definitely jump on that, and of course, jump on Mark My Words as well.
Thank you very much, sir. And yes, 100% for all your fully gaming stuff. Definitely follow Mark My Words because the man is on top of it and you're absolutely killing it.
Thank you.
And look, guys, I really hope you've enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed the aspect of, quarterly game review. Hopefully do more episodes of Mark My Words on this. And guys, start ramping up for Doctor Strange. That's right around the corner. And definitely let us know. What are your thoughts on Elden Ring, God of War, Ghostwire Tokyo, and are you looking for the next Pokemon game?
That's it.
So guys, thank you very much, and until next time, happy ranting.
See you later.
Thanks for listening to Lights, Camera, Rant. If you like the show, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. While you're at it, leave us a rating and review, and be sure to tell your friends. Until next time, happy ranting.